a great pyramid. And that was the Unity Church. And I went there. And they had a custom I didn't grow up with in the Baptist church. You know, everybody does things differently. Well, they have this tendency that they're soloists, and they had a particular fabulous tenor from the Metropolitan Opera. And whenever he was in Houston for opera or another reason, he would stop by Unity and offer his services. And he would sing. And very often he took a popular song, and I was kind of like a dog. Huh? 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 I've never heard this in Sunday church. But here's a little plug. Just like we were talking in our 9:15 discussion group, you should come if you don't already, to that exciting conversation. And we were talking today about this shifting of our perspective and how that can be a very creative awakening to something new. And one of the folks decided to move diagonally across the sanctuary to shift her perspective of me and the stage and kind of awaken a new view of it all. And so that's what singing a popular song in Sunday church can do. Oh, it's not Amazing Grace. It's something else. I better listen. So I thank you for that. Today I want to conclude my May lesson series, part 4, of How to Know a Person by the incredible writer and social commentary, David Brooks. Today's theme, just one of many that I could have chosen, I thought was a good ending to our 4 Sundays together. And it is his chapter entitled, What Energy Do You Bring into the Room? What energy do you bring into the room? Now, we're accustomed for decades of singing, Let There Be Peace on Earth and Let It Begin with Me. So we have one idea about that theme. But today I'm going to ask you to go a little deeper into what energy you're bringing into the room, what you're bringing to the table. There are many different ways that we can express it. But you bring a gift to life. Right here, you're bringing it to this church, Unity South. But by extension, you bring it to your neighbors, your friends. You bring it to your place of work, your place of charitable work, like Veep coming up in a few weeks. You're always giving a gift. And Unity says, be conscious of what you're doing. You're always creating something. Now, if you've ever gotten up on the wrong side of the bed, and I've been known to do that myself, and then all day you're bringing ornery, grumpy, kind of nasty energy wherever you go, even if you're going to church on Sunday morning. So we want to be conscious and clear about this energy that we're radiating. What do we really want to bring to our community? What do we want to bring to the world? We've said so often that statement attributed to the amazing human being Gandhi, be the change you want to see in the world. We've heard it so much, we may not think about it. It may go in one ear and out the other. But it's a very creative idea. I don't know if you have any friends like I do, and whenever a major election comes up in the country, I don't like the candidates. I don't like what they're talking about. I'm not going to vote. Be the change. Vote for the change. take action, that you might nurse along, you might give a gentle impulse to your community, our country, the world, in the direction that you desire. Grumpiness, negativity, criticism. You can do it. We all can do it. But is that really what we want to foster? What we want to grow in this world? Go back to Mr. Brooks, who writes, "A healthy society depends on a wide variety of human types." That's a very positive way to put it. A healthy society depends on a wide variety of human types. Such a society has outgoing people to serve as leaders, organized people to make companies and schools and churches run smoothly, curious people to invent new products and try on new ideas, nervous people to warn of danger, and kind people to care for the sick and lonely. Fortunately, evolution has helped us out here. Human beings come into this world with a wide variety of personalities, which prepare them to serve a wide variety of social roles. As Rabbi Abraham Cook put it, God dealt kindly with this world by not putting all the talents in one place. Personality traits are dispositional signatures. I love that. Your disposition, your attitude, your personality is your dispositional signature that you give to the day, to your work, to your life. A personality trait is a habitual, I put that in all caps, habitual way of seeing, interpreting, and reacting to a situation. Every personality trait is a gift. It enables its bearer to serve the community in some valuable way. And I'd like to point out a little advertisement here. The Sunday morning discussion at 9:15 is working on the theme of these habitual human ways of interacting with the world in their discussion of A Course in Miracles. The Rudolf Steiner study group that meets on Tuesday evenings is exploring the potential of human beings with indwelling spirits to be free from habitual behavior in the book we're studying called The Philosophy of Freedom. This is just one example of how you can engage in multiple ways with others at Unity South. How deep you take yourself into this exploration is up to you. However, there are many enriching possibilities in our Unity community. Now back to Brooks. He observes in this study of personality traits or dispositional signatures, he refers to the big five that psychologists talk about. Do you know what the big five are? You've heard of some of them, but some might stretch you. The first one, extroversion. Extroversion. Do you know anybody that's an extroverted personality? Maybe you are yourself. If not, you certainly know somebody who is. The next one is conscientiousness. That's a mouthful. Conscientiousness. Third, well, this doesn't sound good, neuroticism. Huh? The fourth one, I get this, agreeableness. Agreeableness. And the fifth one he offers, openness. Openness. He claims that a great deal of research have been done on these personality traits. So I ask you to do your own research, and that is to consider which trait, or perhaps a combination of those big five, do you bring into a room of other people? By doing this, this is a way to discern your potential gift, what you are typically bringing to the table, offering the world. In that opening quotation, he subtly mentioned the big five, but I want to just emphasize and go back to them briefly. Extroversion. Often people with an extroverted personality step into roles of leadership. Wow, they're enthusiastic. They get the crowd excited. They get people to do something. Didn't we have an extroverted leader last week that got 22 of you to stay after church for a couple of hours and work out in the garden? That took somebody that was enthusiastic, and it wasn't me. So an extrovert gives a wonderful gift to a community, a workplace, even the world, by inspiring people with energy to get behind an idea. Second, conscientiousness. Well, that's someone that's really organized and good at managing and keeping things going. Do you think that's kind of important here in our church, here in our workplace, organizations we may belong to? In lots of ways, we need someone who's really good at getting everything in order, balancing the books, as it were, that keeps the machinery of life working. Is that you? Third, well, this one's a little puzzling. Neuroticism. Neuroticism, being nervous, anxious. How does Brook see that as a gift that you bring to your community? Well, these are individuals that can see way ahead of the rest of us where there may be pitfalls, problems. Something's getting us off track here. We better pay attention. Let's call it something more positive. They're like a coach. Come on, Carlotta, get in line here. We're straying off the, come on, Reverend Stacey, get back to the point. That's helpful. To call that person neurotic, I'm not sure how helpful that is, but they have an ability to see where we're going off track. Fourth, agreeableness, kind. Do you have anybody in your life? Perhaps you're that person that's just so good to be around. There's someone I see in the city monthly for an appointment, and I walk through the door and I immediately feel 10 times better, and we haven't even done the chiropractic adjustment yet. It's just his radiance of care and concern for his patients that just, wow, forget the adjustment. I feel so good now, I'll just leave. Oh, a fee? Well, anyway, someone that's agreeable and you just feel better around them. I want to find as many of those people as I can. And the fifth, openness. Openness. People that are creative and open to new ideas, new ways of doing things. What if, and we have a lot of those folks on our various committees here at the church. And yes, it's important to keep some things running like they always do, just chugging along. But we need the folks on those committees that go, what if we try this? What if we just really mess around with Rodgers and Hammerstein on the piano? We know who that is. And just create something exciting and new and inventive because of openness. Openness to music. Well, I feel obligated as a Unity minister to take a little turn, a little deviation from David Brooks here, and to bring in somebody that was a great speaker and teacher in her day, and I'm talking about the 1890s. One of the first homeopathic physicians in New York City, Dr. H. Emily Cady. She was asked by Charles and Myrtle Fillmore after they saw some of her writing on spiritual themes, such as finding the Christ in ourselves. Myrtle got all excited. And they talked to her and they said, well, we've got this movement starting here in Kansas City. Would you write a primer or a series of basic lessons for our folks? Well, I always thought that was extremely open of the Fillmores. Have you ever noticed most organizations, even spiritual ones, whoever is getting it started wants their book to be the main book? The Fillmores went to somebody who had a grasp of spiritual principle and how to convey it in what they called plain speech. That means not Victorian and flowery, but clear to the point. And ask her to write the basic textbook for unity. And so she did, and one of her teachings that I just want to mention today is her definition of the terms personality and individuality. If you've been around Unity for a while, I know you've encountered these terms. David Brooks is basically speaking, in what I've brought forth today, and from his book, How to Know a Person, speaking about personality. And he emphasizes that research shows nowadays that your personality you can change through training. You can change, I love this thought, you can change and become more mellow in your personality with age. Age. He even compares some of us to a fine wine. We get better with time. Yeah, we kind of mellow out. Still giving a gift to the world by our personality trait, but in a more helpful, more mellow way. Well, Dr. Cady shifted the attention from this changeable, evolving thing we call personality, and you know where that word comes from in Latin, persona, meaning a mask. It is the mask that we wear to the world. It's how we present ourselves to the world. That's our personality. This is how I'm showing up, by personality. Cady liked to talk about individuality. What is that? That's how the Creator, the source of all, is flowing through you, your individuality. She gives an example, someone highly regarded in the 19th century, Ralph Waldo Emerson. And she said, by all accounts of Emerson, he was great in individuality. But as a human, he was quite retiring in his personality. He didn't force himself on others. But he was a great mind. He got it. He could grasp this thing called life that is God expressing through each of us. She gave another example from the Bible. John the Baptist, as an example of personality developed fully and in the most positive way. He attracted huge crowds, and what did he do? Baptize them, where we get that word. He baptized them in a ceremony that was helping them see how they could be cleansed of their limitations, what the church sometimes called sinfulness. It could be washed away, and a newer, truer, God-created being could come forth from that baptism. But even John, when he baptized Jesus, recognized something so great in Jesus, recognized Jesus, not personality, but individuality. He could behold the activity of God working in this person called Jesus. And so there's a great statement, short and sweet, in the Gospel of John. He must increase, I must decrease. Or as Emily Cady understood it, the individuality, the divine within you must ever increase. And your human, learned, habitual personality still is important, still is a gift. I love you just the way you are. Yes. But it is played down so that the divine of you may be expressed. But what I really enjoyed by these two speakers, Brooks, and more than a century later, Brooks, and a century ago, Emily Cady, they saw us as human spirit beings. That our personality that we learn in this world by being with one another is good. It can be a gift to the world. But there's something even more powerful in us. And that is how we let God's wisdom, God's love, God's compassion, God's creativity, God's truth express through us. Let ourselves become a channel of greatness. So you've got two opportunities, and they can work together. Your human personality that you can refine and get better over time as we age, and your individuality that is the unchanging truth, the eternal spirit in you. Wow. That's awesome. That God created us in wisdom in such a way that we're these composite beings of wonderful, fully humanness and fully divine. I'll just conclude that it's no wonder that by the 9th century, the church, the Christian movement, kept toying with the idea, who is this Jesus of Nazareth, the one we call Jesus Christ? Who is it? And the church finally came to that idea. Fully human and fully divine. A full, good human being and a divine expression of the infinite. Wow! You're two. What was that old gum commercial? Two mints and one. Is that right? Well, think about it. So take a moment with me, and we're just going to hold the simple words from the Gospel of John and just plant it like a seed in our mind. I invite you to close your eyes, to become still, and just hear the Spirit speaking within you. Truth must increase. Personality decrease. And ask yourself, who is center stage in the performance you call your life? Who is leading the way? Your personality? Yes, it is a gift. Or is it the divine within you that's leading you on a path sure and true? Both possibilities are open for each one of us. What path do you take? And to give it an image, what is that yellow brick road that you're taking through life? That's taking you to a place of salvation, of magic, of wonder, taking you home. The road is there. Will you embark on it? Will you follow it? It's up to you. God does not make you a puppet, but a being of freedom who chooses the path to follow. Father, Mother God, we are grateful for the opportunity, the abundance, the love, the compassion that you provide if we will just seek it, grasp it, and offer it to others. And so it is. And we say amen. And I invite you to grab